I want to start this video off by being completely honest with you, my subscribers, and being fully transparent about what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking right now before I get into this connection, which is absolutely disgusting and crazy, between, I know it sounds like it's some reptilian shapeshifter, interdimensional conspiracy theory, but there's a direct connection, which is really crazy, between Charlie Kirk and Epstein now. But I wanted to start off by saying I'm fully being honest with you guys and tell you how I'm feeling about something. And that is that I'm at the point where I'm getting sick and tired of making Call of Duty content, rage baiting or hating on the game. And I find everyone to be quite cringy, and it's the same goddamn video every day. And I don't really like to be part of it. It's not like it was 10 years ago where it was based and people were just fun to make fun of. And there was a crazy community of weirdos. And now it's just boring, same recycled bullshit titles, content, and thumbnails by a bunch of circle jerking homos who hate on Call of Duty, but yet still play the game more than people who, like yourselves, who actually do hate the game. But then as well, I see this information today about Charlie Kirk and Epstein and the government's involvement and Mossad and Israel. And then I'm like, fuck, man. And it's all just one big interdimensional psyops of child molest and reptilian shapeshifters. And then I don't know what the fuck to do. And now what I'd like to get into is this crazy connection between Epstein and Charlie Kirk and the government and just the overall insanity that is happening with this fucking situation. So many people know that Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10th, but little does anyone know. And the conspiracy theories, in my opinion, we always say like, yo, when I see something crazy happen, assassination or some kind of big hitting news, I always look to say like, is this a cover for something else nefarious going on? Is this a distraction? Is this a psyops? So other things can get done below the radar. And that is exactly what has happened right now. Less than 3 hours after Charlie Kirk was murdered, the Senate of America voted 51 to 49 to block the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Just keep that in mind. The same day, 3 hours after the Charlie Kirk incident, the government of America, the Senate, voted against releasing the Jeffrey Epstein files. The only two senators from the Republicans to vote to release the files were Josh Hawley and Rand Paul. Do you think that is a coincidence, guys? Do you think that is just somehow happenstance? No one's heard about that. No one's paid attention to that. And this is where my conundrum and my confliction, internal conflict takes place when I think about, yeah, I'm going to move into politics, start exposing reptilian shapeshifters and whatnot. But then I see all these social media influencers and political influencers and YouTubers, and I think these guys are just as big as clowns and full of shit as these Call of Duty rage baiters riling up the Call of Duty community, thinking that things are actually being done and changed when all they're doing is just pushing nonsense to get clicks and views to make money and not really tackling the big news. And also there's a parallel between Call of Duty. For those who watched my channel, for those who are new here, I used to cover Call of Duty. We're trying to move away from that, so that's why I'm making Call of Duty references for those of you who are confused, who are new to this channel. But there's a big parallel between Call of Duty YouTubers, Call of Duty content, and political content online, and that is this, and the government itself, and Activision behaves like a government. It's the same playbook, it really is. And that is that these government officials and Activision and gaming companies and just companies in general, they never actually tackle the really big news, the big information. In Call of Duty, it'd be skill-based matchmaking, the cheating. They never actually do anything to actually rectify that people want to have done. They do little things to make you feel like as if they are listening and things are changing. And the government's the same way. They don't do the real big things. And then I see posts like this as well that just make me think like, what the fuck is even the point? Because I feel like I'm just farting in the wind. Everybody's getting fired up about this happening and tariffs or that and trans or whatever, but nothing's changing really. No one's life is getting that much better. Like little small things here and there, but nothing that's going to be like huge monumental moments. And that's this, like look at this, number of arrests, Russian collusion hoax, never seen one. January 6th, never seen anybody. Mar-a-Lago raid, never saw anything. Biden auto pen, nothing. 2020 election fraud, nothing. Epstein pedophile arrest, zero. Like I just said, the same day that Charlie Kirk was killed, what happened? They voted in the Senate to not even release the files. COVID, whatever happened about that? No one's ever been held accountable for the disaster and all the bullshit that happened with that. Benghazi, nothing. Doge, what was even Doge? A bunch of park rangers and other people got fired, and yet Trump increased the debt, whatever, ceiling or some shit, the national debt of America to like trillions more dollars. Ukraine impeachment hoax, nothing. It's all just seems like a lot of circle jerking going on. and a bunch of fluffing up a bunch of dongs, and no one's actually getting the fucking. If you know what I'm saying? Like nothing's actually happened. It's all a bunch of foreplay. But we never actually get to the actual act of penetration. It all just seems like a damn psyops. So then I get stuck. I'm like, well, what the hell are we going to do now? Am I just going to stay with Call of Duty? No, because that's gayer than anything else at this point. Or am I going to sit here and at least try to draw light and attention in a different way? I mean, am I going to be I think I'm going to have to be. The real Alex Jones is going to have to stand up. The real truth speakers going to have to stand up. But you know what's going to happen there? I'm probably going to get my channel shut down because people who just sit here and actually feed you a bunch of nonsense and act like as if they're telling you the truth don't ever really get in trouble. They get good views. And those that really try to get to the real meat and potatoes, Hava Nagila, hitting you with facts. What happens to them? I don't know. They get their bank account shut down. They can't see their kids anymore. They end up getting arrested or almost arrested. And they have to go stream on Kick or Rumble or whatnot because they're banned from every freaking platform. Or what's going to happen is my channel's going to get suppressed and I'm not going to get any views and it's slowly going to die and no one's going to see my content. It's not going to get recommended. And then I'm going to end up having like 500 viewers on a video because they're just going to, ice me out. Let me just get back to what's going on right now. There's more stuff. Sorry, it's not over yet. There's still some more crazy shit we need to talk about here. That's related till September 10th and the Senate voting and all that. So let me just repeat again. This is all things that happened on the same day, the Charlie Kirk assassination. The Senate voted 51-49 to block the Epstein files. That's not coincidental, I'm sure. That's not crazy. That's totally not weird. And let's forget about the coincidence of that. Let's just look at the fact that they actually are blocking the release of Epstein files. The government is complicit in sex crimes. That's a fact. You just voted to stop. Like literally, they're stopping pedo from being exposed and everybody involved in it. The government is complicit. And there's a whole bunch of people. Trump too. Trump's complicit as well. You got to face the fact. That guy is out here trying to somehow create psyops. Like this is just a Democratic hoax and that's a hoax and this is a hoax. If that's a hoax and, come on. Obviously the Democrats, everyone would vote to expose. If they could expose Trump and make themselves look good, they would do it. But once again, only two people who are Republicans voted to release the files. Everyone else must be compromised and have pictures of them banging 12-year-olds or something. Israel on that same day secured over $650 million for missile defense from the NDAA. The Pentagon was also barred from boycotting Israel. Boebert pushed her amendment against boycotts. Rubio flew to Israel. And donors shifted, and Ben Shapiro took Charlie's spot at Turning Point USA. So Ben Shapiro is now running Turning Point USA. And also make it clear, Charlie, before he was assassinated, had shifted his attention from supporting Israel to being critical of it. But I'm sure it's all just a coincidence that Epstein, working with Mossad, getting zillions and zillions of dollars out of nowhere, was also working with CIA. I'm sure it wasn't. Come on, let's even really. I'm sure it was all just really totally harmless fun. Just a couple of girls, they were making pancakes, and Stephen Hawking was there teaching them science, and then Bill Gates was there trying to tell them about free trade and vaccines and antitrust issues and how to skirt that and become a monopoly by stealing other people's patents and ideas. Listen, I'm sure it's not related. And things are going to change, guys, because the next Call of Duty is going to make America great again. I'm sure it is, folks. So stay tuned for more videos like this. As long as we're on this platform, I don't know. Once we hit that like button, let's try to get this shit going. And last but not least, and most importantly, my friends, stay black, question authority, and don't let the hoggy cracker at telling shapeshifters, building movies, stars, bank, and 7-11 was in judge objects, go tower 7, that behemoth grocer, also the flat man's fate, Alex Jones, Bill Hicks, and the fluoride definitely is turning liberals gay. They're getting psyops more than anybody else. But are they? Or is it just some MK Ultra Manchurian candidate type shit? Ted Kaczynski was right. Boom, I just got kicked off the internet.